Last dance. It's your last chance. It's the last dance for life. That, of course, is the iconic disco Last Dance. But Stefania from Greece, she is going in a whole new direction, pulling us into the 80s with her Last Dance. Is Stefania living up to the billing of a Greek goddess? And shall we talk about it? Let's do this. Yes, Stefania, the Dutch beauty, teen queen, teenage sensation. She is back at Eurovision 2021 with the song Last Dance from the Dream Team. This is serving major Dua Lipa vibes. There has been universal acclaim for how she is slaying this genre. The lyrics tell the story of an electrifying and exciting relationship. She says, "If the dreams we made are made of fire, I would give a life just to live the dream again. If our hearts are hanging on a wire, let's forget the world below and dance until the end." Basically, every end is a new beginning, okay? When you parse through the lyrics, she's not saying they're still together. Oh no, she is saying is over, but it's a new beginning for me. So it's actually a quite complicated song lyrically. Suzanne Adams in the United States of America, are you living for Stefania and the song Last Dance?
So, Stefania to me is just a classic beauty. I could have watched this video over and over again to look at the perfect lines of her face. The only thing missing in this video to me was the kitty cat. If you all recall last year, there was a kitty cat in Supergirl, right? Missing the kitty cat, but she hit on a lot of other of my favorite animalistic points that we'll talk about in a minute. So I thought it was kind of cool the way she opens up on this street and she's like rather daydreaming or night dreaming as she's getting ready to cross the street. And we go into this whole other world that is borderline Games of Thrones-ish. There was a rooftop scene, but I really felt as though she had become none other than our very own Game of Thrones Queen of Dragons when she hopped up on the flying horse. I just wish the horse had, the horns so that it was a unicorn. I mean, if we lost the cat, the least we could have done was added a unicorn so that my favorite animals were in this.
Hold up. Our readers in Greece, Devin and I made this mistake of calling it a flying horse. It is a Pegasus.
Pegasus, yeah.
So I stand corrected. It is not a flying horse. It is a Pegasus. So then she, comes upon this hot man and she's holding something up for him and she just wants to dream again. She's so cute. She's so classy. I really like the song. Some of the staging to me didn't necessarily fit with the words of the song, and it didn't dawn upon me until the very end of the song that she was actually daydreaming when all of a sudden she's back on the street and the light changes so that she can go forward. But that was a very positive moment for me where she was just moving forward in life, kind of like what we've seen over this last year with Stefania herself, because she has definitely grown over the last 12 months.
Deb and Adarimi, a quick lyrical break. My heart was born in neon lights, floating in space like satellites, looking for signs of life tonight as we collide in black and white.
I love this. I really like this. There's so many things I like about here. It really does borrow from previous generations and freshens it for today. I like Stefania because her obvious assets are not being exploited here. So instead, what you're taking is her vocal abilities and just elevating it with production. And I think that's really clever. Instead of doing, something which, because she's a great dancer. So they're not even putting out a song where she's like giving it a full Usher breakdown, and she's not being hypersexualized. This is just fantastic. It's very clever. It's a great slice of pop. And can I just point out the obvious benefit here of kind of fusing heritage? So she is flying the Greek flag in her homeland of the Netherlands. She's Dutch. So, yeah, I really like this. And I think following Stefania's journey from Junior Eurovision to Supergirl, which I wasn't madly keen on, but I respected it for what it did for her as an artist, this is leaps and bounds beyond that. And I'm totally celebrating this, and I'm totally in love with this. And I actually think people are sleeping on Greece at the moment. I think Greece is actually in it to shake things up.
And we should also point out there is word that they are going to try something with staging that we've never seen before. So this could be hype, but it could also be the realite. So stay tuned. Jonathan.
I mean, that statement intrigues me, but there could also be a reason why we've never seen it before. So, we don't quite know where exactly it's going, but hopefully it will be on the up, because for me this is definitely a step up for Stefania from last year. With Supergirl, I felt she played second fiddle to the instrumental section that they put in some more traditional instruments and stuff, whereas here she is the star of this song and she is at the center of it all, which for me fuses the song much better sort of throughout its 3 minutes, and she is able, to deliver the whole thing. Comparisons to Dua Lipa, but I would say Dua Lipa is probably one of my favorite artists at the moment. So this, genre of music is very much up my street, and I would say that this is one of the songs that I enjoy listening to the most. It is one of the songs that I enjoy dancing around my bedroom to the most. It is, definitely a strong, just sort of combination of everything coming together for Stefania this year.
I think this song perfectly fits Stefania. It fits her perfectly. It's age appropriate, as Debin said, and yet it's so much more mature than Supergirl was. Supergirl has morphed into Wonder Woman, Superwoman. I like the fact that it does have a sensual undertone, but it's not sexual. It's just so perfectly pitched. It is so on trend. The weak point for me is the lyrics. I mean, you can piece the story together if you read through it a few times, but the lyrics to me, I don't necessarily, I don't know, they almost seem like they were made by an AI generator. Take a deeper breath before we touch, running out of time, let's use it up, hold me before the morning comes. Okay, that does fit actually. But on the whole, the lyrics leave me questioning. I love the music video, and this is what gives me such great hope. It tells a story. In this video, she actually saves the world. A reader on Wiwibloggs explains this. This is your last dance says, Atlas holds the world and she sets him free. Then the water falls.
What a beautiful Atlas that is.
Amen. Atlas was fine. Then the water falls off and the flood is prevented. I think that during the pandemic, the notion of a last dance, a last chance is very relevant. People now understand that freedom can be gone like that. Relationships get in like that. People can go just like that. So I think, if people tune into the right words, the general theme of a last dance, this might touch people. But ultimately, this is a pop song and people are going to lap it up. They're going to lap this up. It is so tasteful and so well done. And she can sing, and the song gives her the chance to show off her voice at the end with that big note when she brings it home. She brings it home. So well done to her. Now look, very quickly, let's review the running order. Stefania from Greece sings in fourth. She is after Benny Cristo from the Czech Republic and before Austria's Vincent Bueno with Amen. Now, Suzanne, based on that, is this going to the final?
I think she's going to the final.
Debinetta Remy.
Too good.
It's not even a question for debate. I mean, it's so glaringly obvious, and that's regardless of where she's sandwiched. But interestingly, as she is wedged between those two, absolutely yes. I mean, this is Sorry, William, can I just say I really liked that you echoed my point on age appropriate, because times when I have said it, it's been viewed quite offensively, like people should be able to do whatever they want regardless of their age. No, but it's great that Stefania is finding other assets to kind of leverage on, rather than, she looks like a fitness instructor. She's brilliant. But no, it's not about that. It's about, I almost feel like the music video depicts her as a champion of climate change. It's like she's come with a mission to save the world, with disco and, even Atlas, that is so gorgeous and everything. You don't get that hypersexualized chemistry. It's just, it's the moment.
It's more mythic. It's like a mythical feel. The white light, the statues of ancient Greece rendered for today. Shout out to all the people fighting climate change. Shout out to people opposed to rising sea levels. Shout out to tree huggers. Shout out to everyone saving the pandas. Jonathan.
Yes, I would agree that Stefania and Greece are making it through to the final. I think the songs either side of her are unfortunately more sort of borderline qualifiers, even if I love Benny Cristo sort of equally, really. So yes, I would definitely say that this is in a shot of making it to the final. Once it gets to the final, I think she's then just battling it out with all the other upbeat solo female artists, and we'll see who comes out on top, really.
You know what? It's interesting. There are lots of solo females, but I feel like this stands out so much sonically. This is the Dua Lipa interlude. You know what I mean? It stands on its own. It's so good, and yet it doesn't feel derivative. You can sound like someone, but not be copying them. You can't. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes people are like, "Oh, anything that's dark art pop is Billie Eilish." Well, no, there are lots of grays. Anything that sounds like Dua Lipa, blah blah blah. No, they're different shades of gray.
No, but actually, another point to draw is that yes, whilst I agree with what you're saying, those comparisons sound fairly identical to the key comparison figure. Whereas here, she sounds a little bit like Olivia Newton-John, she sounds a little bit like Dua Lipa, she sounds a little bit like Kylie Minogue, to the point where she's recreated her own sound, harnessing those sounds.
And you know who she really sounds like? Stefania. Okay, Stefania. In any case, it is time for us to go around the world. No, it's time for us to go around this Skype video and give our scores out of a 10, along with a justification, starting with our own Supergirl, Suzanne Adams.
Aww. I gave Last Dance a 7.5 out of 10. I really just loved the song. It drew me in from the moment I saw Stefania's beautiful face. Yeah. The same way the world fell in love with Game of Thrones, Queen of Dragons, we are all going to fall in love with Eurovision's Queen of the Pegasus. She's just a classic beauty, and she remains classy throughout this entire video. I loved everything about it.
I really hope there's a full LP in the works with songs like this, because I feel like 3 minutes is not enough, but I need a club mix. I really like this a lot. I've given this an 8. What's the justification? It's a great song, and it's understated, but it's actually in the running for the trophy. I feel this is excellent.
This is an 8.5 out of 10 for me. This is in my top 10 this year. When it first arrived, I enjoyed it, but then when I was putting my ranking together, I realised actually, this is up there for me this year in terms of my personal favourite songs. So, good luck to her, really.
You know what? If I had a magic 8-ball and I was shaking it, I would ask, what do you think? Will Stefania win the Eurovision Song Contest 2021? Because I think with the right staging, this is a contender as well. People really are sleeping on this. And I bring up the magic 8-ball because my score is an 8. Now, there are...
The magic 8-ball. The magic 8-ball, it says definitely a possibility.
Oh! You heard it here first. Now look, when we take the overall global average from dozens of Wiwibloggs all over the world, the score that we get is 6.82. You know, it's a little low for me. This is a little low for me. But again,
What was the lowest score?
The lowest score that was dropped was a 3 from a British blogger named Lucy. And there was also a 4 from Sweden, Tobias. And we had a 4.5 from Calvin in Germany. So, yeah, but then mostly it was 8s and above. So, oh no, that's not true. But there were a lot of 8s. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there were a lot of 8s and 8.5s. In any case, our girl has a Pegasus and she is taking flight. What do you think of Greece? Is it a dark Pegasus to win the competition? Let us know here on Wiwibloggs.
Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, share, comment on all of our social media platforms.
We've got a podcast on Apple Music and Spotify where we'll be discussing these entries in greater depth.
Ooh.
And those social media platforms are Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and head over to wiwibloggs.com as well, which is where all the Wiwi Jury reviews come out first.
This may be Last Dance, but this ain't the last Wiwi Jury video, so y'all better keep it hot and visit that playlist. And we will see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.